My name is Rachel Monroe. I used to think that secrets were temporary, like shadows that disappear when the light comes. But I learned the hard way that some shadows don't vanish. They deepen, cling, and grow darker over time. My brother Ethan and I grew up in a modest two-story house in Ohio. Our parents passed away in a car accident when I was 24 and Ethan was 27. That loss brought us closer together than ever. He became my rock, and I was his. We supported each other through grief, rebuilding our lives one breath at a time. Ethan had been married to his college sweetheart, Natalie, for 3 years by then. She was warm, kind, and always knew the right thing to say. When I'd visit them on weekends, she treated me like a sister. We shared wine, gossiped about our favorite shows, and sometimes laughed late into the night, until Ethan would roll his eyes and tell us to keep it down. It was comforting, until it wasn't. The truth started as a whisper. A glance held too long, a compliment that felt too personal, or the way her fingers brushed mine when she passed me a glass of wine. I told myself I was imagining things. I couldn't possibly believe what I thought I was feeling, that Natalie might be feeling something more for me. I hated myself for noticing, for even allowing those thoughts to breathe. Then one night, when Ethan had gone to visit a friend out of town, Natalie and I stayed in. I should have left, but she insisted. Just stay the night. What's the big deal? She said with her warm smile. We drank wine. We talked about Ethan, about her frustrations, her dreams, her doubts. I listened. Too closely. And when she touched my hand, I didn't pull away. I didn't realize it then, but that night would haunt me forever. Weeks passed, and we avoided mentioning anything. It was like nothing happened, except it had. And it wouldn't stay buried. Then came Aaron. Aaron was someone I met at a local bookstore. He was charming, smart, and refreshingly honest. He asked me out, and after hesitating for days, I finally said yes. He made me feel good about myself, something I hadn't felt in a long time. With Aaron, I felt grounded again, reminded of who I was before the confusion, before the blurred lines. Natalie noticed the change. She called more often, asked more personal questions, and even once showed up unexpectedly at my apartment. She claimed she was just in the area, but her eyes said something else. I should have told Ethan. I should have distanced myself. But guilt has a strange way of twisting you, making you justify silence as protection. Then it happened. It was Ethan's birthday. I had organized a small dinner at their home. Just the three of us, simple, intimate. Natalie had made his favorite dish, and we laughed like old times. But I couldn't shake the tension. Natalie barely looked at Ethan. She kept glancing at me. After dessert, Ethan stepped out to take a call. And in those few minutes, Natalie leaned across the table and whispered, "Do you ever think about that night?" I froze. My heart raced. "We can't talk about this," I said firmly, but my voice trembled. Her eyes locked onto mine. "I think about it more than I should." Before I could respond, Ethan walked back in smiling. But the moment had cracked something open. And I knew we were running out of time. That night I couldn't sleep. I knew what I had to do, but I was terrified of what it would cost. 2 weeks later, everything unraveled. It started with Ethan calling me, his voice laced with confusion. "Rachel, did you ever talk to Natalie about us, about any problems she mentioned?" I paused. "No." "Why?" "She's been distant. I found messages, nothing clear, just strange. Like she's hiding something." My throat tightened. "Maybe she's just stressed." He sighed. "I don't know. I feel like something happened. Something I don't understand." That was the moment I had to choose. Keep burying the truth, or free us both by revealing it. I asked him to meet me in person. We sat in the park, under the same oak tree we'd visited as kids. I looked into his eyes and said, "Ethan, there's something I need to tell you, and it's going to hurt." He didn't say anything. Just waited. I told him everything. Every confusing emotion, every moment I didn't stop what I should have. How Natalie blurred lines and how I failed to shut it down completely. Ethan's expression didn't change at first. Then his hands shook. Then came the silence. "You?" he asked, his voice cracking. "You of all people?" "I didn't plan it. I didn't want it. I hated myself for it. But you deserve the truth." He stood up, pacing. laughing bitterly. I trusted both of you. You were all I had left. I cried. He didn't comfort me. He left without saying goodbye. For days, I didn't hear from him. I tried calling. No answer. I went to his place, he wouldn't let me in. Natalie had left, apparently staying with her sister. Aaron showed up at my door that week. I hadn't spoken to him much during all of this. I told him the truth too. Everything. He listened. Quietly. And then he hugged me. You're not a monster, he said. You're just human. You messed up. Now you have to make it right. And that's what I tried to do. I wrote Ethan a letter. It wasn't for forgiveness. It was for honesty. I told him how much he meant to me, how much I hated what I did, and how I'd accept his anger, but I'd never stopped loving him as my brother. Weeks passed. Then one morning a knock. Ethan stood at my door. His eyes looked tired, but not angry. He stepped inside without a word. We sat. Again in silence. Then he said, I don't hate you. I want to, but I don't. Tears welled up in my eyes. You should have told me sooner, he continued. Not for you. For me. I know, I whispered. She left me, he added. For real. She said she needs to figure things out. Whatever that means. I apologized again. For everything. He nodded but didn't respond. After a pause he said, We can't go back, Rachel. But maybe we can start again. That moment didn't erase the pain. But it cracked open a window. Over the next few months, we worked at rebuilding. Slowly. Carefully. Natalie never came back. Last I heard, she moved to Seattle and started over. Ethan eventually started seeing someone new. A woman named Claire. Sweet, quiet, nothing like Natalie. And I could see something I hadn't seen in him in a long time, peace. As for me, I stayed with Aaron. He gave me the space to be honest, the courage to admit mistakes, and the strength to forgive myself. Our relationship isn't perfect, but it's built on something solid, truth. The day Ethan and I faced the truth was the most painful day of my life. But it was also the day everything finally began to heal.